Today we're going to emulate Klopp's tactic with Dortmund, but with Liverpool. Will it work in 2024? Let's find out. Yes, this is a tactical emulation from Klopp's Borussia Dortmund days. This is by Magicomonta. This is Borussia Dortmund di Klopp del Magicomonta. So we're going to take a look at how this works. You can definitely go on his website and see the full-on tactical analysis of how it was created and all that. It is in Italian. They apparently is an English version. I could not find it though. There is the only English part is, again, there's another video. As always, check those out. They usually go into a much better detail than we can go into. But there's an English portion to that video at the very end, basically just saying, go to the website and, in your language and read it all. But again, if you can read the Italian or if you can translate the Italian, fantastic. You've got a great write-up on how this was created and how it was implemented. But we're going to check it out with our three teams of Liverpool, Aston Villa, and our championship side of Ipswich Town in just a minute. But with all that said, let's just head to the Premier League and see how they did. Well, now right off the bat, as you take a look at the table, just remember this was for a specific team. This was Klopp's Borussia Dortmund. That was, I don't know how long ago, 2012 or so, probably a few years before and after. But it did not seem to work here with Liverpool and their squad, their current squad. Sixth place, Europa League. Doesn't look like they won anything for the Champions League, especially the Europa League. But 63 points, 65 goals. Does not look like a fantastic tally. Aston Villa all the way down in 12th, did not win anything, it looks like. But you've got 51 goals, 51 points. Definitely not a good season for either of these two teams. Taking a look at the domestic cups for Liverpool, they're out in the Carabao Cup final. They got to the final at least, but 2-3 against Manchester City. That just is tough. And then you get to the semis of the FA Cup, 0-1 against Chelsea. Oh, and it's Sterling too. Europa League, unfortunately, you're out in the quarters against Celtic. Overall, Premier League is not good. Sixth place is just not a good spot. Carabao Cup runner-up, okay, whatever. FA Cup, you get to the semis, but still, you should have gotten something. Quarters of the Europa League, that is definitely something you should have gotten something more out of. But unfortunately, all in all, I wouldn't say the season is a complete wash, but at the same time, it wasn't a good one. And you can see there's not a lot of green compared to what we usually see, but 23 goals for Salah, Nunez with 20. Not bad, I guess. Nunez usually getting a bit more. 12 assists, though, for Tsimikas, 10 for Szoboszlai and McAllister, and then average rating is 715 for Szoboszlai. Aston Villa actually getting to the quarters of the Carabao Cup. 0-1 against Bournemouth is where you drop out, and you get to the semis of the FA Cup against Manchester United, and you just drop out 1-2. Not awful, but you only get to the round of 16 in the Europa Conference League, and you're out against Eintracht Frankfurt. So overall, Premier League, awful. 12th place for Aston Villa is not good at all. Conference League round of 16, you definitely should have done better there. FA Cup semis, not bad. Carabao Cup quarters, again, not bad. Wow, squad-wise for Aston Villa, only 2 in the green and one of them's Coutinho. But goals, 10 for Diaby. Assists, no one in double digits. 8 for Lucas Digne, Diaby, and Zaniolo. And then average rating a 7.0 for Martinez. Liverpool's data hub, you've got some attacking numbers. Definitely would like to see them better, especially in the goals per game. I mean, 1.71 goals per game. XG of 0.99, I mean, whatever. But if we go to Aston Villa, you can see really barely getting out in just these two categories, maybe passing percentage of the Premier League average. And then 1.34 goals per game. I mean, you're getting some goals in there, but the attacking numbers just aren't there like you'd really hope them to be, and we've seen in a lot of other tactics. Not a lot of content for the Premier League stats. Most goals, you got Liverpool in there with 65 in 6th place. Fewer shots against, Liverpool in 6th with 306, and then Aston Villa with 390. Most shots for Liverpool in 1st with 580, and Aston Villa with 443. And that's it. But now, surely, Ipswich Town did a better job. Well, 3rd place, 20 points though off of 2nd place. That hurts. At least you're tied with Southampton, but you still pipped them to the 3rd spot. But still, 3rd place is pretty nice. 86 goals, not too bad. Unfortunately, you get into the playoff run, but you lose out in the semis against Norwich. 7-3 on aggregate. Domestic Cups, you're not expected to go far. You really didn't. Carabao Cup 2nd round against Crystal Palace. FA Cup 4th round against Manchester United. So overall, the championship is where it's at. 3rd place. FA Cup, Carabao Cup really didn't do much. But again, you're not expected to do much, so it doesn't really hurt that bad. Looking at the squad though, goals 14 for Connor Chaplin, 10 for Hurst. There's a lot of just missing stuff there. Missing goals, missing tallies. Wes Burns with 15 assists, Leif Davis only with 12. Definitely a lot of missing stats here. 7-12 for Jack Taylor with 1 appearance, 8 off the bench, but 7-05 for Leif Davis. Yeah, they didn't do all that well, even though they're in 3rd place. Championship stats wise, same deal for Ipswich Town that happened with Liverpool and Aston Villa. Most goals in 4th with 89, fewest shots against in 7th with 444, most shots for in 3rd with 648, and that is it. So let us take a look at the tactic itself, starting with a sweeper keeper in support, wing backs on the left and the right in support, central defenders in defend in the central spots, a defensive winger this time around on both sides, CMs in the middle spots, a shadow striker above them in attack, and then a pressing forward in attack up front. Balanced mentality, in possession attacking with is fairly narrow, approach plays pass to space, focus play down the left and the right, passing directness is slightly more direct, tempo is higher, and whip crosses. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute to the center backs and take short kicks. And then out of possession, a mid-block line of engagement, a much higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, step up more, trap outside, and stop the crosses. But now, how did it do for our 3 teams? Well, Ipswich Town actually getting, 3rd spot is pretty nice for them. They blew it in the playoffs completely, but 3rd place is a nice spot. I think if you took control, you might be able to do a bit better of a job yourself. Aston Villa and Liverpool, on the other hand, 6th place for Liverpool, not happy there. Aston Villa all the way down in 12th, definitely not happy there. But again, this is a tactic that is geared for a specific team and a specific point in time. This is Klopp's Dortmund. This is not Klopp's Liverpool or anything like that. So when you get to these type of tactics, you really do have to do a lot of massaging and finagling your squad into this tactic to make sure it works properly. But this case, it didn't work for the Premier League. It did for the Championship. But that is it for me, 7FM for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.